Senior High interview today brought to you, as always, by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. This is a very unusual senior high interview because unless these are very old-looking students, Principal Wade McElhaney, you came without kids today.
Todd, we are students for life.
There,
school of hard knocks.
Jeez,
you know,
jeez, listen to this guy. All right, good morning. So what's up?
Well, good morning. Very pleased to bring this diverse group here this morning to the radio station. We just came from the Indiana County Manufacturers Consortium meeting being held at ICTC. So, one of our main goals or priorities this year and following years is career readiness. So we wanted to demonstrate that career readiness is not just a school-wide issue, but rather it is a partnership that requires integration, teamwork, some of the things that we're trying to promote with our students right now. So with that, brought different representatives of those areas that we believe will help bring about those opportunities for our students.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Who do we lead off with?
We're going to have Mr. Eric Brocious, secondary BCIT teacher at the senior high school, who is also a career counselor or career readiness coordinator at our school, and as well as, a business owner here in our community, and here to share about information about a very interesting initiative with Pennsylvania Department of Education for our school.
Very good, Eric. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. Good
Great.
to have you back.
Good. Thanks for having me.
So, what is this all about?
So, we have been selected, Indiana School District, one of just a few school districts in the entire state. We are involved in a pilot program with the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and that pilot program is basically dealing with career readiness and social-emotional learning. A lot of times when people think of social-emotional learning, they're not thinking about the idea of soft skills, communication, and things like that, where students need those skills in the workplace. So we are working on a program with them to help develop a statewide program for school districts to help in this career readiness push throughout the state of Pennsylvania because of the lack of workforce and the lack of a skilled workforce, not only with technical skills, but also with those soft skill things.
So it's not necessarily, although it could be in many cases, the number of people available for a workforce, but the number of equipped people available.
Exactly. And that's one of the things our district has really done an outstanding job, and that comes from the top down, from our school board, superintendent, and administration, that they are driving this program, and they have basically, teamed us all together to make this happen for our school district and our students, to get our students ready for the workforce.
So how does that manifest itself at Indiana?
So in Indiana, we actually, for next year, you have met Sarah Jewett before. She is going to be our Career Readiness Director for the district. That's a new title for her. We are offering a new course that is a mandatory for graduation for our 11th and 12th graders that will replace our On Your Own class that was primarily for 9th and 10th graders. We wanted to move that forward to get our kids as closer to graduation, and that class is going to focus on those career readiness skills, financial planning skills. When they do get a job, how do they keep the job? And that'll be a semester course that's required for every student to graduate from Indiana.
Yeah. Now, a lot of those students, of course, are going to go on to further education, and their entry into the workforce might be delayed a little bit,
Definitely.
But still applicable.
And we understand that. And like I said, again, it's not just career readiness, it's career and college readiness. And we've kind of defined that in our course name, because that's what we're calling it. And we understand, and I think even at the meeting we were at this morning at the Manufacturer Consortium, is that students aren't necessarily always going to go straight from high school to work. It may be high school to 2-year to work. It might be high school, college to work. It just depends on the type of profession they want to get into, but we want to give them options. That's why we've really opened up like our internship program, our job shadow programs, and like I said, our district has bought into that to give our students those opportunities to see what is out there for them to do.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you
so much for coming in. Mr. McElhaney, that's a good start.
It's a very good start, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Brocious. Next, we have Ms. Mary Salone. She's Assistant Director of the Tri-County Workforce Investment Board, with whom we have partnered for providing our faculty opportunities to learn more about career readiness. And she's here to talk a little bit about that.
Oh, this must be a pretty exciting thing, huh?
It is very exciting. We've been very fortunate to work with a lot of good partners. The Tri-County Workforce Investment Board covers Butler, Armstrong, and Indiana counties. Part of our goal is to work with adults who aren't working and dislocated workers and to get them trained. But a large part of our goal is to work with the youth in the area to get them to go into those careers and those high-demand careers so that they can get family-sustaining wages. And as we've talked about, a lot of times kids have to learn about what's out there, what skills they need, what kind of careers are out there, ones that are traditional, ones that are non-traditional kind of things. So we help provide funding to allow schools to do that.
Yeah. When you find a situation such as we have now, there must have been a series of discovery moments when you said, this is not happening. Our students aren't coming into the workforce ready to go. Describe that process. How have you identified and then therefore decided how to address it?
Right. We do needs assessments every so often with the schools and also with employers with what they're seeing in first-time applicants to see what those skill levels are. Now, interestingly enough, employers now are willing to hire people and actually train them when they get them, which is actually kind of exciting. But having said that, if you can reach those people before when they're still in school and get that interest level and then teach them what kinds of skills they need, then they can get the training before and be ready to enter the workforce. So that's the exciting part about that. So
it's kind of interesting that the actual job skills that they will be performing, you have to be prepped in order to be able to learn those skills.
Right. And the schools are doing a fantastic job, especially the Indiana School District, of really coming up. And it's the time period that this works. We've all had these initiatives before, but this is where we're at. We have a business education partnership that we bring together members of business. We bring together various school districts, economic development, higher education. I mean, all across the spectrum to try to figure out what we need to do and what skills are important, from soft skills to technical skills to where the needs are within our community so that students can stay within our community. They can also go out and go regionally or wherever they want to go, but at least they have that knowledge of what their opportunities are.
Good to meet you. Good to come in and visit with us today.
Thank you.
Principal McElhenney.
Okay, next up we have Ms. Katie Smith. She is here to talk about how school counselors are contributing and driving a lot of what we are doing with our career readiness initiative at the senior high school. So she's going to be sharing some of those activities and goals with us.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that you really need to have students who are buying into the program right from the start, too, don't you?
Yes. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was we have recently started to use a new program. It's called PA Smart Futures, and it is an online career planning and portfolio platform, and it's actually something that we've been working towards as counselors for a very long time. So to actually have this program now that will fulfill our desires to have kids to start to explore careers in kindergarten and to have that consistent level of career exploration up through the senior high school. PA Smart Futures is a great program because it's split into bands. So not only are we doing this at the senior high, but we're doing this across the district. So we have a K to 3 band, a 4 and 5 band, a 6 through 8 band, and then a 9 through 12 band. And so it's developmentally appropriate. It's activities for students to get to know themselves better, to explore. And the big thing is to address our PA career and work standards, which a lot of people aren't aware that we have. We actually have standards through the Pennsylvania Department of Education that requires us that we are supposed to be helping students to develop in terms of planning for their future and their careers. And so we focus on career awareness, career acquisition, how to keep a job, career retention and advancement, and then entrepreneurship as its own category. It's really nice because we have the program is it's local. It was built in Pennsylvania. It was created in Pennsylvania, and it's geared towards really giving our students a place to learn about themselves, to do activities, and then also to be able to collect that information throughout throughout all of their educational years, and then to use it when they have graduated. So they're going to be doing things like creating a resume and putting that. There's also a really big focus on the soft skills that everybody's talking about right now. And, what does it mean to be a team member? What does it mean to, what are the soft skills? What kinds of things, what do we need to do to be, to land a career and then to be successful? And also just with a big focus on helping the students to look at themselves as individuals and see what it is that they, what are the jobs that are suited for them? A lot of times decisions for kids are based on, the careers that they know, what their parents are doing, what family friends are doing, or family members. And so there's a lot out there that sometimes they're not aware is available to them, and that's changing all the time.
I think that sounds like a great program.
Yeah.
Wow. It's going to be interesting, Wade. In about 10 years, going to have kids coming through who have been with the system all the way through, as opposed to the kids who now are starting it in their junior or senior years. And they've, these kids that are going to come along in a decade from now are going to have a whole new set of skills.
I agree. And what was really interesting is that, I believe within each of those classrooms, a lot of those skills are promoted, but this is a systemic or systematic way of validating that and raising the awareness and attention and action that goes with it that we believe, will help those students beyond high school.
Absolutely. All right. You've got one more guest
We
that
got
you
one
brought
more.
in. We know this guy.
I'll introduce him anyhow. This is Mr. Mark Hilliard. He, as you know, he is the president of Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, and he has been very instrumental and helpful for helping us realize what is the goal of career readiness. And he came to our school at the beginning of the year and introduced a program, as you may be aware of, Indiana County Ready, and it was well received by our faculty because it was a nice validation of the things which they do and want to do for our students that are beyond the grades, the GPA, and standardized testing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice validation and opportunity for our teachers and our students.
Mark, good morning. It's
morning.
This has been something you've talked with us about a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, as everyone else has said, soft skills has been identified as one of the problem areas with students graduating high school and trying to enter the workforce or even going to college. So, this is a program that we worked on we're very proud of the collaboration, not just with Indiana, but with all the Indiana County school districts and their guidance counselors in particular. And they were the ones who helped develop the program with assistance from some of the human resource directors around the county. And it ties in tremendously with this new pilot program from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. And when we sat down and looked at it, I began thinking, boy, this could really be a template for all of our county schools on ways that we can help improve the Indiana County Ready program, but also help, with our teachers, making sure that they're educating the students on all of those skills that we're talking about in the program. So it ties in beautifully with it, and they're great partners. We're very happy to work with Indiana High, but all of our school districts. And soft skills is a big area that we want to tackle because we want 5 years from now our Indiana County students to be graduating possessing more of those skills and being more prepared not just to enter the workforce, but to be better citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point. These are skills that are not just job skills. These are life skills.
Absolutely. I mean, communication, work ethic, those are all things that you can do at home. As, it's important at home or, even just when you're out on the street networking with people. It's not just career related. The soft skills are something that can assist you and can be important skills to have in every aspect of your life.
I know Brocious never does the dishes.
I won't go there.
Well, there you go. We're about out of time. Principal McElhenney, thank you. You brought a great group with you today.
Thank you, Todd. We appreciate the opportunity as always, and thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
And you. And
bet.
thanks for the bouquet you brought me.
Well,
For those who don't know, this is my favorite lollipop, and this is for basketball season when it comes. I need these. Those are my lifeblood. Thanks, sir.
all right.
Thank you
sir.
all.
Right.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. Fox News coming your way next at the top of the hour. A couple of seconds from now, we follow that with news from our WCCS newsroom with Josh Whittison. And on the way, in our next half hour, we're going to talk about model trains. Oh, yeah. What a great topic that is, huh? It's going to be fun. Join us as Barry Whittison and Tom Ott come through.